we have something to show you. I had no intention of buying this, but sometimes life goes the way it goes, and as you can see, this is an Aprilia RSV1000R, and it's the factory version, specifically the run-out model, the 2009, and in 2010 the RSV4 came out to replace this. Weird how life works out, isn't it? Let's roll a couple of slow-mos and a few close-ups and things and give you a few details about this, then we'll do a bit more of a walk around. Check these videos out, guys. Welcome back. Impressive machine, isn't it? And I'm not really a big V-twin lover. I've always loved the RSV, however, mainly because of the way it looks and the spec, let's be honest. This has pretty much everything that you'd want from a, I guess now you'd call it a retro sports bike, which is quite worrying. Fully adjustable Öhlins forks, fully adjustable Öhlins rear shock, or Öhlins as it's technically pronounced. Brembo brakes, Akrapovics, cast wheels. Tell a lie, they're forged wheels. Standard one's got cast wheels, hasn't it? These are the forged wheels, particularly in gold, and they're made by OZ for this model. and the run out models are identified by primarily their colour, and they come with a few minor tweaks just to correct things like oil flow, a slight change to the cooling system, which is only very minor really, nothing really worth noting of, a couple of ECU settings, minor electronic tweaks, nothing really of any note, but essentially all the little minor problems that the earlier versions of the Gen 2, which this is, had, were resolved. I don't want to spend too much time talking about spec details and stuff, because you can jump on Google or any old website that you like and find those out, and talk about more how we ended up getting this. I wasn't looking for one, and like we all do one night, just sloping through everyone's favourite auction site, clicking on local dealers and just generally seeing what was about, I saw the picture for this, and it took me a second, perhaps not even that much, to know that was it. I had no intention of buying it, didn't really need it, but you know that feeling that you get something inside that says that's it, got to have it. And I put a deposit down on it without even paying too much notice to the price, to be honest with you. I knew it was going to go quickly, and when I picked up the phone to the dealer, it was actually on a Sunday, they said that the phones, emails and texts has already gone absolutely crazy for it, so be quick. So I put a deposit down on it, and over the next hour or two we agreed a value on the Fireblade, and the deal was done. So the Fireblade has gone. Again, I had no intention of selling it, no reason to. Just new bike, I suppose you'd say drive was in me, and this was exactly what I needed. It's been effectively laid up in a collection for 4 years and only really gone for MOTs and the occasional sunny sort of ride. It's covered less than a couple of 100 miles in 4 years. It's hardly been ridden. It's taken a bit of waking up, and I've been taking it really easy for the first tank of fuel, which lasted about 90 miles until the light came on. So all those myths and legends are true about lack of economy for these, but to be honest, if you're buying one of these, economy is not the reason that you buy one, and certainly shouldn't be part of your factor. I have owned Aprilias before, RS1000s, but it's the first really big V-twin I've owned. I've played around on SVs and various other things, but I wouldn't say really owned one. As I said, I'm not really a V-twin guy for no other reason than simply they're just not my flavour. But this Rotax engine, and being a Gen 2, this has the V990RR version. The only version of that engine is the V990 and the Gen 1s and the Tuonos, and the V990RR, which is effectively the Gen 2s and the factory models. No big differences really in architecture, just the RRs are effectively a magnesium cased engine. Again, a few detail changes which in the real world don't make a huge difference, mainly for racing really. This isn't going to be a review video, guys, it's just an introduction. I will do a proper review video. We'll do some sound bites as well, some sound clips. The best thing about V-twins for me is just the sound of them. It sounds like the worst storm we've ever heard, and a very, very serious thunderstorm. It's an incredible machine. I have got a standard pair of exhausts coming. These are the optional Acras that came with most Aprilias, to be honest with you. They are a bit fruity, so I've got a set of standard titanium exhausts coming. Stainless steel, sorry, the actual pipework is titanium, but the exhaust itself is stainless. Unbelievable, 75 quid off eBay. Unbelievable. It's cheaper than buying a set of DB killers, so I've just bought those. I will do a proper nerd level video on this one, probably 45 minutes, maybe even an hour long. And if you're that sad that you want to watch the sort of details that I'm going to go into, I've already had all the bodywork off this and already had various bits of it apart for various reasons. Mainly curiosity, if I'm honest with you. It did cost a lot of money. It was more money than I intended on spending, because I didn't intend on spending any, so that's obvious. But it was advertised as the best in the country, ? And all I can say is that if there's one out there in this country that's better than this, I'd be very much congratulatory for the owner of it, because this is, I wouldn't use this word lightly, it's showroom. It looks like it's just rolled out of a box. It's only got 13,000 miles on it, and a credit to the two previous owners. The first owner did a majority of those miles, the second owner basically kept it to look at and used it on a very, very sunny day and covered just a few hundred miles, and I'm the third owner in what, 16 years now. Drop any comments you've got, guys, positive or negative. Surprised, what have you done, why? Don't those things blow up? The answer to that question is absolutely not. These Rotax engines are as solid as any Japanese unit. The injection system is fantastic. There is no inherent mechanical faults with the engine. Most of the problems with this type of bike, and this is going to upset a few people, is it a Ducati rival? I'll leave that question with you there. In terms of big capacity V-twins, in terms of all the blingy bits that you want with your bike, it's a fair argument. I'll leave that one for you to have a think about there, but certainly in terms of looks, for me, this is definitely one of my top 5 bikes, and if I'm really honest, the main reason I bought it. Some very quick initial thoughts. The engine, these are not 140 odd horsepower. They're just not, okay? I'd say it's 115, 120-ish. A modern 600 is the same power. Torque-wise is hard to judge because they make it very differently, but if you jump on one of these and expect to give things like a modern Fireblade or an RSV1000R for a run, it ain't gonna happen. It just simply is not that powerful. It's a very different kind of power, but for a 1000cc V-twin, these do rev quite well. They idle around about 1100, 1200, depends really, somewhere around there, and they rev all the way through to 11. You can let them go past 11, but they really don't like it. 11.5 really is where the limiter cuts in. But it's an amazingly revvy engine for something the size it is. The chassis though is like you'd expect for an Aprilia, just indescribable, and it's got Michelin Road 5s on it, which are, I guess, a very good choice for the road, hence the name. They wouldn't be my first choice on something like this, but fair play. I've had a little bit of fun with it now, and they're an excellent tyre. I'm not a Michelin guy, I'm a Bridgestone guy for no reason other than I've always liked them. The Road 5, however, has, I've got to say, it's lived up to everything people says that it's capable of. The brakes are as good as the tyres, which are very good. They're not the sort of brakes where one finger light and you get instant stopping power. That's not how these Brembos are. You do need to pull them, but they are so progressive. But when you pull them with 2 fingers or more, it's physically painful how fast it stops. And certainly if you're a male, you'd certainly need a nice soft tank pad, if you know what I'm saying. So just some quick initial thoughts, guys. We'll roll some nice footage and let me know what your thoughts are. Lots more to come on this one because it's going to be around for a while. Good to speak to you again, and sorry for the surprise.